Hi, Dr. Yoshi here with Oasis Family Medicine, and today's little blog video is on chips. And I got this idea because recently someone gave this very bag of Doritos chips to me as a joke, because obviously they know that I'm a bit of a on the healthier side of things when it comes to my food choices, or at least I make a large effort to be good in that realm. And it was a hilarious joke. I love it. I can totally laugh about it. And then I actually got to looking at the ingredients because it was curious, what's real food? How much real food is this made up of? And the first ingredient, so what I realized was spices, I think, is like the 8th or 9th ingredients. And that's the first, what I would consider real food in this. So 8th or 9th ingredient down. So first is corn, which is genetically modified corn, and basically offers almost no nutritional value to us. I don't consider straight up GMO corn an actual food. It's not. Nature didn't even make it that way. Vegetable oil is next, which basically has canola oil in it, which is kind of the devil of oils. Horrible for cooking, loaded in trans fat, been linked to heart disease, including strokes. It might actually, some evidence that it may actually retard the growth of certain cells, especially in infants. Horrible thing, canola oil. Maltodextrin, which is basically it's a food filler. It's a preservative, is basically what you can think of it as. Typically made from GMO corn, but it's kind of almost processed corn, so it's worse than that. Not a good thing. It's definitely not food. And then they say natural and artificial flavors, which is basically code for chock full of artificial flavors. Salt, which is almost guaranteed to be your regular table salt, so sodium chloride, which is not what the body is meant to uptake in terms of salt. The human body is meant to take up, in the form of salt, meant to take up much more than just sodium plus chloride. It's meant to take up approximately 70 other additional minerals, and when taken in this kind of more of a homeostatic condition, so Himalayan salt or healthy sea salt that doesn't have toxins in it, our body knows what to do with that. So it regulates its blood pressure much better than regular salt. And then sugar, great, that's just wonderful. That doesn't contribute to any heart disease or any other kinds of diseases. Dextrose, another form of sugar. And then we get to spices. So first real food, 8th or 9th ingredient down. Goes through a couple of other powders, and then ends with artificial color, red 40 Lake it's called, and then modified cornstarch. So that's Doritos. Basically no real food value. If you eat this, you're basically just asking for dementia, you're asking for stroke, you're asking for heart disease, you're asking for autoimmune diseases, you're asking for anything bad. Basically eat Doritos. I just want to compare this to something like Jackson's Honest purple heirloom potato chips. They also have a sweet potato chip version. They also have actually a red sprouted corn chip by now. I think most of them have basically 3 ingredients in it. It's either potato or a non-GMO corn, and then they have cooked in organic coconut oil. So coconut oil is probably one of the better oils to cook with because it has a higher smoke point, and so it doesn't break down when it's cooked. So it's actually one of my preferred cooking oils. And then sea salt. So that's the type of salt that humans are meant to get into our body. Probably only about 6% of people are actually should really monitor their amount of good salt, Himalayan or sea salt. The other 94% should do just fine from a blood pressure standpoint. And in fact, it's super healthy, and probably 94% of people ought to actually add more sea salt or Himalayan salt to their diet. So I just thought it was really interesting. Wanted to compare these 2 different types of chips. I love chips. And so I know that while eating this is not exactly going to build my body up in the best way compared to if I just went for, you know, some celery sticks with maybe a little salt on it, or dipped into a little almond butter or something like that. You know, that's a better way to go because there's a lot more fiber and there's a lot more nutritious aspects to various vegetables, right? But at the same time, I love chips and I like to enjoy life, but I know I can enjoy life a lot more eating this than this, because even though my taste buds might like this initially, if I think about it and I'm consciously aware of the crap that's in here, I kind of don't really enjoy this because, hey, I don't want to be messed up. I don't want my brain to shrivel and shrink. I don't want autoimmune diseases, and so I don't actually enjoy eating this, right? If I really sit there and think for a second or two, versus I can enjoy this. So hopefully this is a little bit useful or interesting to you. If you think it is, feel free to pass it along. Take care, Dr. Yoshi.